Hello everyone, and welcome to this Video Sans Frontier video. My name is Jay Wakefield, and today we're going to be taking a wee overview at these 5 beauties. Now, before I go into the machines and talk about them, I'm going to do my usual trick of kind of telling a wee backstory about how I got them. And FYI, I like to see that in videos, actually. I like to kind of hear a wee bit about people got computers, when they make videos about them. Anyway, so these machines, how did I get them? Well, I've decided that with my, I finally want to do something with my last load of cases. I've been wanting to for a while, actually. Now, you may remember back in January I got 4 systems. Now, the Packard Bell, that one was sorted out. That one was actually done up and, given a fresh install of Windows, and it was sent on its way pretty quickly. The big full ATX case that I got, that was a wee bit too far gone. Which leaves me with these two. Now this one, I did actually start doing a Freecycle build with it, with some components that a friend had given me. Unfortunately, I'm waiting on the blanking plate. So that just leaves this one. Now, I was really quite surprised when I powered it on and it actually posted. However, I can't find the hard disk bracket for this system. And it's really quite infuriating, because it means I can't really do much with it. So I thought, well, I've got this, and I've got a couple motherboards that I need to put into cases, what have you. So why don't I see about getting some ATX cases? That way I might actually be able to rebuild the Advent in another case. And there's a scanner that needs to go on Freecycle. We tested that, I believe, in my last video. Or if it wasn't my last video, certainly it was recently when I tested it. Well, I wanted some ATX cases. So I asked Freecycle. And I got a message this morning saying that the guy has 4 ATX cases. We're basically going to be putting this skip. But did I want them? And of course, I replied, yes please, that would be fantastic. I would be so grateful. And so he came round earlier this evening and he brought them round. These are actually, you may have noticed, these are actually full systems. And you might also have noticed that not all of these systems are ATX, but we'll forgive that. So, I've not powered on any of these systems, but, if none of them work, then that's perfectly fine. Because, like I've said before, I just really need the cases. So what we have here are 4 systems. Let's have a look at them. First off, we have a very interesting looking AT system. I don't know anything about this. Now, considering that cheaper PCs were actually built into AT cases right up until... Do you know what? I actually, my old school actually built one of their newest systems before they closed down in 2002. They built this in 2002. It was an AT build that ran Windows 98. So this could be anything. And, well, like I said, not only that, but those of you who watch Jack Stavros's channel or V Westlife's channel. Jack has an AT custom build from 1999, and V Westlife has one from 2000. Jack's is a Celeron, and V Westlife's is a Cyrix CPU. So this is an ADD systems, which must mean attention deficit disorder systems. So it'll, you know, when I come to install something on it, it'll start installing, but then it'll suddenly display loads of blue squiddles or something. Now I'm kidding on. I mean, no offense, by the way. So sorry if I've offended anyone. Let's have a look at some of the I/O on this thing. Got an AT style keyboard connector. We have a system that refuses to be filled on its front. Damn it. Right, I've put it the way up I want to show you it. So we have AT style keyboard connector. We have something else. We have power in, and with these older AT style systems, quite often you can actually get a kettle lead, the power out. And the idea was that you'd run a cable from here to your monitor, so that your system would only take up one plug, and if you kept your monitor switched on, when you actually came to switch on the system, it would switch the monitor on. I quite like that, actually. So the other parts we have a coaxial cable. We have an Ethernet card with, networking card with Ethernet and coax. We have 25-pin serial. That kind of looks like a game port. Then we have a printer port and serial port, and then a graphics card. Doesn't seem to be any sound hardware in here. So either there's a CD-ROM controller card, or this system is new enough to support a TAPI. When I say, yeah. So what I'll do is I'll just try and put this system down, and we'll take a look at the next one in the next one, the Grampion Electronics one. But before we do, I just want to point out what this has got. It's got power, old style switch. Oh, that feels fantastic. Probably not as good as the IBM 5150, but we have a 32-speed CD-ROM drive, tape backup, 3.5-inch floppy, and turbo and reset buttons. Now the turbo button would have been used with older processors like 386s and 486s. Using the turbo button, you could actually downclock them a wee bit, just to try and gain some compatibility. Quite a neat feature, actually. My Packard Bell does it, but to be able to downclock it, you actually have to do so in software, as there's no turbo button on the machine. I think you press Control Alt minus to downclock it, and then Control Alt plus to upclock it. Right. So now for the Grampion Electronics system. Now, Blue Planet 64 viewers will remember a system very much like this, because this is something that I got for Retrofest, and I do believe this is an honest to goodness ATX case, as are these two. So Grampion Electronics was a computer company that actually ran in Grampion, which is the county that Aberdeen is in. And Yeah, Grampion Electronic Components Limited. And, you know, they used to build computers for people back in the day. I've heard mixed reports about them, but I don't believe they exist anymore. And I kind of... but the people who do build systems nowadays, just in case anyone in Aberdeen wanted to know, would be Northeast Peripherals, and they're actually pretty damn good at it. One of the systems that we got for work was built by them, and it's fantastic. Anyway, let's have a look at this machine. This has got a CD-ROM drive, 48 speed, creative, an HP CD writer, remember those? Seem to turn up in everything, and as far as I'm aware, they don't work. Then you've got the power button, 3.5-inch floppy drive, Grampion Electronics case badge, the pokiest wee reset button in the world, seriously. Must be very sensitive. And then these vents kind of look like an old style Windows logo. I like that. Anyway, let's have a look at what I.O. is in the system. And what I like about this system is it has a carry handle. What I don't very much like about this system is the fact that something is rattling in there. Okay, so here we have the world's shiniest power supply. Ew. A chrome power supply? I don't know. It kind of, in a way it looks good, but in a way I can't help but feel it is probably incredibly cheap and nasty, and if it ever had the chance, it would take out this computer and every computer owned by someone you care about. Anyway, so we've got the standard kettle lead for power, PS2 mouse and keyboard ports, parallel printer port, IEEE 1284, two serial ports, COM1 and COM2. Then you have sound, so you've got a game port joystick, which can be used for MIDI. If you want to see how many things a game port joystick is called, please watch Billy Corr's video about his PCMCIA game port adapter. He will tell you all the names for the game port joystick port. Anyway, and then we've got two USB 1 ports, either 1.0 or 1.1. Can you mind which? Then we have a graphics card. Now, the last Grampion electronic system I worked on actually had a Voodoo card, one of the ones that would actually do 2D and 3D graphics. Then we have a sound card. I think that could be a Creative Labs sound blaster of sorts. We have a modem, Ethernet, USB 1 expansion card, which gives 4 USB ports, and I really don't know what to make of that. Oh, it's SPDIF. Spadif! So, that machine's got quite an impressive array of features and gizmos and gadgets and whatnot. Anyway, time to have a look at the other two. So what I'm going to do is precariously... I'm going to do this off camera. Now, the next system is a Mesh computer, and I'm not sure, but I believe Mesh are British. I'm not entirely sure. Mesh used to be, as far as I can tell, Mesh used to be a lot like Evesham. In what, they would do, what they would, kind of what they would sell and how they would sell it. It seemed that both companies tended to take a Dell approach, shall we say, to selling computers, in that you could only do them, you bought them mail order. So on this one, we've got the floppy disk drive on top. We have a CD writer, DVD-ROM drive, blanking plate. Then we have power and reset. Another pokey reset switch, and I really can't seem to press this one. I know, I've got stubby wee fingers. And then the mesh logo, and then... Yeah, this case looks like a wee bit of a mesh. Anyway. So we have a very interesting way of opening this, actually. What is this? Is this a PowerMac G4? I feel like am I opening a mesh computer here, or am I opening a G4? Jings? Yeah. Maybe if I painted the drives chrome, then I could pretend like it's an MDD. And then in that case, I could pretend like it's my natural colour. And then with that, I could make myself look a lot cooler than I actually am. Now, I find this quite interesting because this power supply, even though it's an ATX one, it has the provisions to send power to a monitor, just like the AT custom built. Okay, so now what we have on this is PS2 mouse and keyboard, 2 USB ports. Again, IEEE 1284 printer port, also known as a parallel port. 2 serial ports, COM1 and COM2. And then graphics, we have what looks like a formidable graphics card. I don't know what's... Some USB ports. What looks like a Creative Labs Sound Blaster 128. Modem and Ethernet. And it does have a Windows Millennium Edition COA on it. So it seems like I've arranged these systems in terms of, you know, in a chronological order, oldest to newest. And it seems that with these systems, as they've gotten newer, they've gotten bigger. Now for the big best of a system. This is a... Jings Crivens, help my Bob. I don't know what it is, but it's massive. It's a Hewlett-Packard something. What? Wait, what? An HP Kayak? I thought it was a computer. I didn't realise it was a blooming Kayak. What is this? And then there's something on the front, which is, like, awesome and stuff. Power and reset buttons. Pentium 3, designed for Windows 98. Well, that's kind of J-approved right there. And this was before HP and Compaq merged, and both companies started to make absolute systems that are equivalent to something that you might find coming out the back end of a dog. But so on this system we have a DVD-ROM drive. Actually, I think this one might be older than that one. Come to think of it, I've never seen that design language in the XP era. Whoops-a-daisy. Okay then, and it looks like this system can be placed upright or on its side. So that's quite interesting. But let's have a look at the I/O. That doesn't sound very good. So, this motherboard. Ew. Right, okay. Power supply. Horrible, terrible proprietary port crap. Way to go, HP. PS2 mouse and keyboard ports. USB. 2 USB 1.x ports. IEEE 1284 parallel printer port. 2 serial ports. Game port. And then sound. Speakers, line in, and microphone. Some sort of expansion card. Probably some sort of controller card or something. VGA card, some sort of video card, a blank, and an Ethernet card. So, those are the desktops. Now, if you'll give me a moment, I'm going to arrange them all back in order. So those are the desktops. Now, what's in the box? Well, the guy said that there's bits of memory, a motherboard that he thinks is ding dong diddly dang dong ding ding diddly ding 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 diddly 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 ding dang dong dong gone. And not his words. We've got some expansion cards. 56k. Well, I'm just going to say modem, could be any speed. PCI. Some sort of AT controller card. That's nice. It comes with some extra ports. Serial 9 and 25 pin serial, as well as parallel and what I think is a game port. Could be something else. An Ethernet card, an ISA Ethernet card. So if I wanted to, I could put this in the Packard Bell and connect it up to my network. Not that I have any more room on the switch. And then here's a video card that I'm not sure what it is, but it, it could be a good one. I think this is an AGP card. Very nice. Bits of memory. I think that's some sort of EDO. And then there's another EDO memory module in this bag. And then we have an ATX socket 1 motherboard that is equipped with an Intel processor that I don't rightly know what it is. Oh, it's a Pentium 3 450. Oh well. But this has got some memory in it as well. So, I mean, if the board has gone, and at least I have a processor and some SD RAM out of it. So there you have it. That is the that's a Freecycle load I got for today. However, not quite done yet. We will be soon, but not yet. Not now, but soon. So here we have an HP laptop. Don't know if this works. I'd like to think it does. Seems quite an interesting one. It's got an AMD Turion 64 chip in it. On the sides we have a vent, VGA, IEEE 1394 Firewire port, 2 USB ports, I'm guessing USB 2, microphone and headphones, so we have an PCMCIA card slot, and jings, an express card slot. The first time I've seen one of those on what I believe to be a single core machine. Well, I say I think it's a single core because it certainly doesn't have the badge says Turion 64. Doesn't say Turion 64 X2. I've had a Turion 64 laptop. Turion 64s aren't bad chips actually. I must admit, I do. I do quite like them. Although Jinx, I can't get this blooming slot blank back in place. Damn you, HP. On the front of the machine, we have LEDs for wireless power charging and hard disk. A speaker, what I believe is a speaker anyway. Multifunction card reader. Another speaker. We also have the lid catch. And then we have a DVD writer. And we also have a 56k modem. On the back, we have power, Ethernet, another USB port, and S-Video out. And what this machine is one of those. I can't actually read that. I'd actually have to look very closely at it, so I shall. Agency series. It's an HP Agency something or other. HP Compact NX something or other. So, if Compact were still their own company, this would basically be a Compact Evo. Now, so have a wee look inside it. We're not going to power it on in this video, because to be honest, I'm actually cooking dinner right now. So here's a touchpad for some reason with tape over where you'd scroll. Keyboard, got a power button. Oh no, that's info. That's the power button. Info, wireless. Presentation, is that? Num-lock and caps lock indicators. And volume controls. This machine has a fingerprint reader. Like I said, it's a Turion 64 and it's designed for Windows XP and has an XP Professional Certificate of Authenticity on the base. So, that concludes the Freecycle motherload. I would like to say how very much grateful I am for having received these systems. You know, I do appreciate it when people do things like this for me. Very much, actually. And, you know, hopefully I should have some fun with these systems. Like I said, I mean, if they don't work, that would actually make things a lot better for me, actually. Well, actually, I'd want this AT one to work because I've really got nothing I could put in there. But if any of these ATX systems decided that they wanted to be on the fritz, then I've got parts that will go in there. And I have reason to believe that that might be on the fritz. Scrap? Yeah. Why would you write scrap on a computer? So, anyway, that'll conclude this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please feel free to subscribe. And I hope you'll all join me for my next video. Thank you, and cheery bye.